101 on East Main Street, which is the McClendon Library. It is at the Fellow Washington. Get the Rising Sun and also the nonfiction. This is American literature and also the Washington State literature, American literature, and also the services they got. The Daily Show, Trevor Noah. This is the Donald Trump Presidential Twitter Library. This one is the Presidential Twitter Library for the John McEachern winner of Pulitzer. We got the 1619, Jamestown and Foregoing the American Dreams, and James Horn. Strangers in the Woods. This is a story of Last True Hermit, Michael Finkel. This is National Geographic Best Book of the Year, astonishing. This is the Michael Finkel, the knight lived in the schedule encampment, developing indigenous ways of provision staff during the winter times of the Stranger of the Woods. The extraordinary story of the Last True Hermit, Michael Finkel. The Invisible Third. This is the invisible thread. This is the stopping in every part of plan. This is the extraordinary nonfiction true story. If you want some drama, some breathtaking, some real fictional dramatizing and biblical, as the Bible would say, biblical, chapter after chapter, is it's a tearjerker. The art, and here it is, 1491, the Revelations of the American before the Columbus. Jamestown, James Madison, Spokane, Washington. And that's the James Madison and the Making of America and Kevin Grogan. James Madison's house is in Spokane, Washington, with George Washington's increments and the pedestals, the lighting pedestals, which is James Madison and George Washington, where they merge in their portraits of Luncheon Manor and the George Washington estates. And this is the D-Day, Questioning of the Honor, Lens Olson, and also the Victoria's Century and Victorian Secret Furniture area, which would be the shelf of the Churchill's White Rabbit and also the Untold Civil War. There's American Spirit and also 1776. Coffin. This is the treasurer. Amendments, the affidavits, the and this is the James Madison and the Making of America. There's Washington, the Ron Chernow. This is number 42, Fred Washington. Spokane, Washington, Mr. James Madison, George Washington, walking, living in the same house. Now we're going to go into the tour. Pumpkin arrangements, as you can tell, the arrangement of the unidentified aircraft that's in the Sunny Farms. We're going to take a good scoop on that. You can YouTube all you want, footage all everything you want, and touch and feel. If you can catch it, go for it. Probably the biggest aircraft landed in Sunny Farms, and it don't hover, just flies over Othello, Washington, 10, 15 above, and just parks it in Sunny Farms. Beginning of Lion King, number 2. Kitty Koodle, probably the biggest aircraft you've ever seen in your life, landing in Sunny Farms here in Othello, Washington. On YouTube and Facebook, come be live. The Dragon Knight, You Are Friends, The Fast Enough, Dinosaur Yoga, Grandpa's Stories, Good Boy, The King of Kindergarten. This is the Barela section. As you can see, this has the Pistachio, Mr. Cooney Law Firm, Eric Pistachio, Pochovich or Pistachio Pochovich, means Eric Pochovich, and that's Dallas Cooney and Jim Cooney, and also the Cooney Law Firm. These pictures and books have the monitoring of upgrade skills of Monkey and Run, Neighbors, Little Truck, Kitty Koodle, and Happy Birthday Grumpy Kitty Cat, and of course Lion King, number 2. And I Want to Be a Pilot, number 1. And Duck, Duck, Dinosaur, and Night Owls. I'm going to plug a sample of the Dream Big, or Banshee. Let's go for the Banshee. Everyone loves the Banshee. And also the little school bus. The little school bus. Close the blinds up so they get so much glare. And the Apple is activated since the batteries are now activated. Remote sequence. Longest distance is about a mile away, so you can have Wi-Fi. You have active laptop, active YouTube services, children, kids services, and approximately a mile away. And you can, of course, activate the button, hit the button, and it hits unlimited Wi-Fi, unlimited services. And that's on your laptop as well, your Apple and your HP, and also your Dell. This is the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, President Donald Trump. Donald Trump, President of Twitter Library. Electronics and electronics. Many people have said the world's greatest writer of 140 character sentences. Predicates, pronouns, adjectives, pronouns, adverbs, adjectives. Masterworks, The Birth of the Breakthrough, 9/11, Hater Losers, Taco Balls, Lynn's Tent, Especially Relationship, Fox and Friends, and 45. The Second Civil War. Remember Mr. 23, Michael Jordan. The Greatest Battles, number 20, USS Chicago, U.S. Missile Cruiser. And this is, of course, Chicago, famous player. And that's Michael Jordan. Number 23, the Second Civil War, the Buckering, the War of Muslim Aggression, the Battle of Bull, B-U-L-S-H-I-T, Run, the Diet Coke Rebellion, which is the coca leaves, which is labor and services. They're in the backyard of the villages that are conducted with their masculine aggressions. They continue with the Battle of the B-U-L-S-H-H Run, the Diet Coke Rebellion, Coca-Cola, coca leaves, and the retrospective of page 38, and that's 38. The world according to Trump, 41. Trump versus Trump, 46. Elements of style, and all styles will be discounted for lesser than 75% is what I hear, because that YT service hasn't been downloaded, and it's number 50. So you get half and half. 1 ruble or $1 is 72 rubles. So this would be 50 and 50, half and half. Now nobody has more respect. Composite memo bottom. My button works. Very stable genius. And that's Genesis. And in the Bible and Genesis and also Huckleberry Finn. The Daily Show presents Donald Trump's own Twitter library, comedy, and also in the center. This is the Noah Trevor. Introduction to Donald launches campaigns 2015. Trevor Noah, he's a Diet Coke worker. He is a fan of sharks. Liquor codes a man who has tweeted demand of rubber penalty by Kristen Stewart. Trump's campaign grew movement world sweep into the White House. I strongly recommend in this Daily Show Trevor. This is Donald Trump's, and this is it's on the rack. And this is the tremendous praise of Donald Trump on Twitter. And this is also the Donald Trump on 15th January 2017. This is 1, 2, 3 strikes are out. This is peas and carrots. And now it's, of course, bread and butter. We'll be going to their services. And I'm going to their expansion of states and live and continue on their services by perspective by college students, all graduates and students. Now, this is going to be probably the best Banshee series they're going to have for services by Coven. And this is Kyle Sullivan by Derek Sullivan. Now, hush, now Banshee. One little Banshee looking for some sun. 2 round ghosts are ready to the lake. And he cries like a roaring earthquake Banshee. Now the ghosts scream, aha, together they plead, hush, Bunchy, Bunchy. 5 big monsters are cleaning their places and spaces, none a place to go. They go up, they sweep, they dustpan, they clean their trees, and they clean all the trees and leaves off, and also they bloom and vacuum all the accessories outside the area. The bog monsters trembled in his Halloween. Even 7 fairy warriors and trained the log. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fairies. As you can see, that beautiful aircraft, just huge aircraft, just hovering over Othello, like they own the entire planet of Othello. As you can see, they fear no man. Just sit there and land. These 7 fairies are very busy individuals. As you can see, they say, hey, holler, Banshee, I'm burping bullfrog. I am burping bullfrog. Now warriors fall down and cry out in pain. Hush now, Banshee. He's crying to the train, the choo-choo train. 8 little leprechauns are painting the grass. Oh, well, Banshee likes shattering glass. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elves, leprechauns, cleaning the grass. Leprechauns cower and short their complaints, and they sit there and cower and debate their next masterpiece. 9 quiet druids are meditating by the sea. The druids spring awake out of their peaceful state. Hush now, Banshee, you're trying to meditate. I'm trying to meditate. Well, you sure seem cranky, but knows why I guess I'm my own, said Banshee, which I sigh. 10 upset creatures fly out of the trees, hovering, landing in the area. We're trying to have quiet time, gripped a crowd. I want your friend, but you're not too loud. Could you please be a little quieter when you pull up with your gigantic aircraft? People like to meditate, as you can see, meditate and concentrate. There's a gigantic aircraft landing in the air in sunny farms, 10 feet off the ground, just knocking trees all over the place and just parks it like you own this whole world. I'm sorry, said Banshee, being quite too tough, but I'm willing to try this quiet time stuff. Now, I recommend Banshee by Cal Sullivan and Dirk Owen. This is a Mercopolis. This is a takeover. This is a takedown on YouTube, Facebook. This is monopolization of the quiet time, Banshee time, and also loud time, Banshee time, and the counts of our counselors. And this is by Hazeldale Press, Seattle, Portland. HazeldalePress.com. Starting remaining this one. Now the yellow bus, the little school bus. Now the yellow school bus is recommended by Christy Avern Books, and this is Little Dump Truck, recommended by, don't forget, Meet the Driver Bob, trusty little school bus. Pick up children in the school, but busy day on the job. This little tour bus with a driver named Bob, rumbling, shifting, clunking like the room at a job. Little bus moving slow and slow, bouncing, turning, thumping, all around the town. A little school bus waiting by the walk. The boys and girls climbing on the sitting walk. There's a crosswalk straight to Olson's property. Eric D. Olson at Basin Properties. As everybody's seen this little school bus that came by and picked up this individual at Sunny Farms and also Olson Properties and crosswalk. He crosses the street and was attacked by these homeless police officers that robbed him for $7,000 in their laptops and battery charges. This little school bus, Mr. Bob Kohler, Mr. Bob, bus driver, a school bus for the GTA, BFT, and People bus. And that's, of course, don't forget, and that's Kathy and Justin and Richard. And also, don't forget, she used to ride the post office, and she got tired of that because she got snowed in, and she went back to People bus. Her name is now Jackie. Now Jackie coordinates with this little down platform they have in the wheel inside. A little school bus going around the bend in hands and winds that says, "Driver Bob, my friend." A little bus heading from the spot, slowing, braking, idling in the parking lot. This beautiful wheelchair and also the services they provide for Apple Care services. For 0%, and also military staff have this service available for them as long as they have a signature and their Apple Care service are activated. A little school bus staying home today. Snow icy, bob away. A little bus turning near the guard. Time to get tuned up. A little bus tailgate being fixed. Cracky dope. Now been oiled and more dents and nicks. Little bus just a dump. Sway. Microsoft sway. Like Bill Gates sway. Dropping off. I love my job. Hooray. Then we're going to this non-fiction, the real information they got here in Mr. George Washington House. Mr. King George Washington III, Ozona, crowded in 1760. Now in the 1760, we got some headstones on Highway 17. There's 3 of them. This is John Zoning Crone of 1760, the 22 George Washington, who ruled the 15 years by the time he went to Parliament in late 1775. CBC, Columbia Basin College, Pasco, Washington. In 1770, the portrait that portrayed robust, doubtful man of substance, which fact was well considerably more accurate, accomplished history, was more often known as George Washington. Lord George Romney appointed the King's Secretary of American Colonies, autumn of 1775. Lord German stood marked concerns very unwarlike Prime Minister, Lord North, a soldier, a politician, German, proud, commanding, and kneeling intelligently. American rebellion best revolved and believed is decisive below. Edmund Burke captured James Harris, Simpson, Edmund Burke, and also Frederick Lord North, National Nats, all permanent Prime Minister Lords North American. The King. George Washington Charles Wilson, P.U. One of the strongest human-characteristic portraits in Washington. P.U. painted in 1780s and dozens of years in Washington first took command Cambridge in age 43. The height is 6 foot tall. Joseph Reed Charles Wilson Peel, a military family, called Washington Private Special J. Reed, taught a young Philadelphia who served secretary to become confident. Don't forget General Nathan Green Charles Wilson Peel. This would be at Mueller's funeral home right across from Mid-Columbia Library at 1401 South Union. Right across the street is Mid-Columbia Library. And Mr. General Nathan Green Charles Wilson Peel, Greenlee, Rhode Island, handsome, good-natured Quaker. He walked with limp, a little military life, and was read in books. And 33 became the youngest, very general American Army individual. Now, Jonas Sullivan Richard Morris, an ambitious New Hampshire politician turned Sullivan, had a courage, intensity. General Israel Putnam, Turnbull, popular old Cincinnati, afraid of nothing but outsuited multiple responsive large commands. Bill Alexander, Bass Otis, only American general in title, stirring in New Jersey, small forest Brooklyn with extraordinary valor. Now, there's a family portrait of Everett Savage in the war print in command of Mount Vernon. Martha and her grandchildren that be afraid at courthouse, so right across the Fort is a gigantic Indian saloon all the way from Columbia Center Mall in Kennewick on Columbia Center Boulevard, and also Columbia Mall, and also the Columbia Park, where they took the remains of the individual at Columbia Park. And they also have a stampede in Yakima Reservation going all the way into Ephrata, Washington, into Forest Pasco, and also Denver Hotel, Spokane, Washington, Buffalo, Horns up on Merle Bridge. This is Eleanor Curtis, George Washington Park Curtis' slave, William Lee, served at Washington's side through the war. Elegance of General Ward, sharp contrast. Army held in 1776, a cartoon character enactment with the Indian artifact with the beanie on his head says, "Faith and liberty, money in God and money in trust." Washington headquarters through the Sage Boston Cambridge mansion still stands, known as Longfellow House. Now, in his own writing, Mr. George Washington says the bush hacker on the 17th of the compromise. Now, New Jersey has a Triton, a Espionage has a hallway, artillery room, and also a historic site where the ground has literally live rounds and dead rounds and back in prehistoric centuries, 200 centuries, 300 centuries, 500 centuries. Centuries 1 year. 1 century is 100 years. This manifest has an apple in Boston of the evidence of the troops, of the accessories of the plots of lands. Goes all the way to Oyster Bay, Berenique, and also Bering Point and Comfortable Hook, Newmark, and Virgin, and Humboldt. And also Cranberry, and also bread and butter, and peas and carrots. Now, Adams, Roger, and Sherman, Robert, Livingston, Thomas, Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and Declaration of Independence on July 4th of 1770. Mr. Trumbull. Poetic justice at its peak. Now we got George Washington cherry cheesecake available here, like pumpkin cheesecake. Here at the Sunny Farms, they have this manifest record of archive I got on here on page 162. The planner of the seeds of the cherry manifest records. These this is by Alexander Hamilton. This is by David McCullough, John Adams, Truman, and also the power broker of the years of Lloyd Johnson. New Yorker reviews by M. Morgan, and Founding Brothers American Siphonics. And this is American Heritage. Washington State History, U.S. History. And this is probably the best quotes they got on these parts. George Washington, no less, gave him a tremendous outpouring grief, observing and remembering his kneeling of pace in bed, solemnly reciting prayers of the dying. 42, Fred Washington, on C Street, Fred Courthouse, in Fred Washington, Grant County. Heartbroken Washington was buried. Patsy family party next day, coffin draped in black, was buried in a brick vault down a hill from his house, Pontiac. Martha's assumed black maroon cape a full year, husband nude between her daughter's death, son absence. She still runs around. Moo sees this ghost everywhere. Her husband nude between her daughter's death and absence, some unspeakable barefoot, canceled the western trip to stay near her. Patsy died. Jackie's finance. Neely's Chevrolet staying in Washington's house. Provided provisionally stepped into a huge emotional void. Patsy's death, becoming like a second daughter, lingered about Mount Vernon for the week, fostering lasting intimacy. Martha's Jackie wrote a tender condolence note, his mother telling his member, "You are a blank," saying that the lost sister in her situation was more endivided and pitted. For mortals distinguish between "you are deserved of grace," meaning you're mortals. Meaning they're mortals. Impact Finances and his stepfather has been able to his indebtedness, Robert Carey. Through skillful management, Patsy's estate appreciated in £16,000. Half of this amount, Jackie and his half of Washington's way of his life, Washington instructed Robert Carey in his discharge his large debt. His brother Lawrence Washington profited enormously of death caused by the grievous sorrow. Beyond obvious sadness, impact Patsy's death with George, Martha, and Washington in coming years. Sudden financial windfall. Relieving pressure, Washington allowed him to luxury appreciate American Revolution financial worries. I strongly recommend Washington, the ruling chairman. It's probably the most criteria you can get. Now we get some surefire archives in this one. Now this will be page 11. David McCullough. David McCullough received prizes. He's Truman, John Adams. He's a multiple Grand Bridge thesis. Contributes on American letters, American literature, handwritten by George Washington. These 3,000 men under General Thompson were taken part of fortified heights. Another 4,000 were to stand by Cambridge for ambitious attack on Boston. Once on British launched their assault on heights, ambitious their milder weather returned a bay gaining largely open water. General Putnam was over command of Boston attack. Generals Greene, Sullivan, and led crossing Charles River, Cambridge. 60 flatboats stood ready. To bring the Army maximum strength of 2,000 Massachusetts militia were called out. Details dispatched to round up wagons, carts, and 80 oxen's Army Hospital, Cambridge. 1,000 bandages are being prepared, beds made ready, and cots in Boston gassing. Watertown, since the siege, For miles, Boston, everybody seemed to know someone. Someone knew someone. Knew something about something to be expected. But bets were merged and wagered. Happened in the surrounding towns. Tensions, fury grew by day, by second, by minute, by hour. As he often before his life, George Washington eased and stressed, waiting and catching up outside George Washington's house.